You are tuned into a special player spotlight interview on the CS Podcast.
Welcome to another episode of the CS Podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first. Since 2002, visit NFLDraftBible.com. I'm your guys' host, Chris Shanafelt, and joining the show now for a player spotlight interview is 2016 NFL Draft prospect. He's wide receiver out of Division II's Pittsburgh State, the pride and joy of the Gorillas. He's Marquise Cushon, and Marquise, I appreciate you taking some time today. Can you believe that your time at Pitt State has already come and gone, and now here you are looking for a shot to play professional football?
Oh, yes, most definitely. Thanks, Chris, for having me. It's a part of the process of growing as a person, and my time here at Pitt State has been wonderful. Pitt State is such a prestigious university, top facilities, top prospects, and one of the most wins over in D2 history, so it's just a prestigious place to be, Pittsburgh State.
And talk about making that decision coming out of high school to attend Pittsburgh State. I mean, were there any other schools interested in you, and why did you feel that Pitt State was the best fit for you?
Most definitely. I feel like I had some recruits from different places, and I actually committed to KU out of high school and did my track thing there. And, it was just a big decision that I had to make, and it kind of molded me as the person and the character I am today. And it was great that I got to choose Pittsburgh State as a place for a home for me, and it's been I had a great career here.
Yeah, you absolutely did. And let's take a look at your career at Pitt State. Your first year as a true freshman, Marquise, you played in 10 games and was just about everywhere on the field. I mean, you were impacting the game on defense at cornerback, where you had 2 starts at that season and recorded, I believe, 2 forced fumbles and 3 tackles for loss. On special teams, I see that you had 3 blocked kicks and was also a return man. And, of course, on offense, I see that I believe you've seen some time at both wide receiver and running back, or maybe you're just taking carries from the wide receiver position. What was that like to, kind of be used at all those different types of positions on offense, special teams, defense, in only your first year at Pitt State?
Yes, of course, coming in with great guys and, like I said, a prestigious program. A guy of my caliber, I wanted to play. I had the will to play, and the coaches, they believed in me, trusted me, and just wanted to find a way for me to get on the field. And like you said, when I was younger and I came in, I did most of that time on defense and making impacts in the game on special teams. And I can remember great, block punts that I've done that have changed the game. And it just kind of speaks on the volume of the player that I am, that, I can play any position and then be comfortable on the football field.
Yeah, absolutely, and it was the following year as a sophomore, Marquise, you solidified yourself more so as a wide receiver. That's where you started 5 of the 12 games that year, and you recorded 23 receptions for over 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. You also had 16 rushes for over 160 yards, so you averaged more than 10 yards per carry. Can you tell us how the coaching staff and yourself felt that wide receiver would be the best position for you to make an impact on the team?
Like I said, I feel like that they had trust in me in any position, and they made the switch over in spring, and I'm a player to buy into whatever the coaches want. So that's what I did. I put all my focus in on getting better at that position, and I had a good player to mentor me at the position, John Brown. So it's funny, after guarding him on defense my freshman year, I'm learning from him why he's doing some of those moves my sophomore year, and that's kind of the process that was for me, changing from a defensive player to offensive player.
Oh, absolutely. I got to think there's a big weight lifted off your shoulders when you made that transition to offense. And you know what? Looking at your junior year in 2014, I mean, there's no doubt it was a big one for you, man. I mean, again, you mentioned John Brown. It was the first year John Brown was gone, and you really bursted out onto the scene. You started all 13 games and reeled in 69 receptions for 1,300 yards and 8 touchdowns. I mean, you're making plays left to right on the offensive side of the field. You also rushed for over 240 yards and another score. What was it about that season that allowed you to have the success that you're able to have individually? I mean, was it just the opportunity to be on the field more and get more looks?
Like I said, the program is great. The coaches do a great job of having guys ready. And I feel like that team that we had was a great team. And during that time, I was an impact player on that team as far as in when the ball came my way, I did as much as I needed to do. And I feel like that, of course, everybody was looking for the next John Brown here in Pittsburgh State. And I've never tried to compare myself to him, but it was always fun to give the crowd and the fans excitement. So I feel like that's something that I was able to do here. Great experiences here at Pittsburgh State, and that year was just memorable.
Yeah, and you know what? One superstar leaves in John Brown, and another one emerges as, of course, yourself, Marquise Cushon. And, obviously John Brown, that 2014 season was the first without John Brown at Pitt State. I mean, he was drafted in the third round by the Arizona Cardinals. What's that like for you to see somebody like John Brown, dominate his competition at the Division II level there at Pitt State, one of your former teammates? What's that like to see him now have success in the National Football League? I mean, does it boost your confidence at all?
I feel like it's just been a pleasure of just him as a testimony of his character, as well as being the product he is on the field. I mean, knowing him personally as well as what his production on the field, it's kind of been my overall perception of it, and I feel like I have taken that knowledge on and off the field and applied that into my life, and I think that's what it's about. And like you said, I played against great players like Pierre Desir, Michael Jordan, Michael Hill, and a lot of guys, D2 guys, that get the opportunity to play the NFL. I just applaud those guys. I know how hard they work, and I know how much it takes. Just becoming from a smaller school and not as many resources as a lot of the bigger programs.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what, Marquise, it sounds as if you kind of take pride in coming from a smaller school in Pitt State. I mean, like you said, it's certainly possible to make it to the league coming from the Division II level. Not only did one of your teammates in John Brown, a fellow wide receiver, make it, but you also mentioned Pierre Desir. He was drafted in the fourth round by the Browns. And then you also got Michael Jordan, who, like you, is going through this draft process right now. I mean, it sounds as if you kind of take pride in this, small school label that's going to be coming along with you.
Yes, I definitely feel like it's something that you got to carry with you. I mean, it's been a part of your process. It's getting you to this level, and you just got to look at it as take it as far as its experiences and what it's taught you, as far as in just that you can apply to life, and that's kind of how I look at it.
Absolutely. Well said. Well, looking at what you were able to do this past season, Marquise, I mean, it was certainly, I got to think it was certainly hard to follow up that junior season and kind of repeating what you did that season to this past season. You were able to bring in 40 receptions for over 480 yards in a score. You also had, again, I mean, you make an impact so much on the offensive side of the ball. You also had 230 yards rushing. Now, obviously, like I said, I mean, there was a little bit of drop-off there from your junior year to your senior year in production. What would you say the reasoning was for that? I mean, do you think that opposing teams had you on their scouting report and kind of made it a point to take you out of the game as they were getting set to take on Pitt State that week?
I feel like it was a lot of adversity this season. First and foremost, injury bug got on our team early, and I feel like we had 8 guys out with knee injury, so that takes a big toll on the team. And then just for me, it's stats versus film. I mean, you watch film and you see that I'm a full-out player, and when my opportunities came, I made the most of those. And, as far as our offense scheme this year, the RPO system, run-pass option, I feel like it's the game doesn't evolve around one player. It's a lot for a fresh first starter year quarterback to know some of the pre-snap, post-snap reads. And I'll just commend our quarterbacks and our team this year for making it through a tough season.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? You kind of talked a little bit about earlier. You talked a little bit about how prestigious this university is and their football program is. You guys finished 6-5, which obviously you guys probably would have liked to have a few more wins, but that was actually your worst season, as a team throughout your time at Pitt State. I think I know a list of players that would trade that in for having that be their worst season. I mean, 6-5, you're still above 500. It's still a winning record. Now, obviously, I know you guys probably held yourself to higher expectations, but nonetheless, overall, fantastic collegiate career. Overall, how would you describe your college football experience or your college experience as a whole? Because I know you did not only just participate in football, but you were also a part of the track and field team as well.
Yeah, my time at Pittsburgh State has been sensational. I've really been a student of the game as far as in developing mentally and developing with players and just creating special moments. And like you said, I'm also a track athlete, so also doing dual sports in college. It's not that many people and athletes that has the opportunity to do that. So I feel like Pittsburgh State is a great place to do that. And me, for myself, I got to compete on a high level and win numerous championships here. And I feel like that's all it's about. So I have a will to win, and that's something that I got to do at Pittsburgh State.
Once again, he's the 2016 NFL draft prospect, Marquise Cushon, wide receiver out of Pittsburgh State, joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible, bringing you the names that you need to know first since 2002. Visit NFLDraftBible.com and, carrying it back to where we just left off at, Marquise. I mean, this is pretty cool. I mean, not only did you have success on the football field, but you are also a three-time All-American in track and field. I mean, talk about what it's like to be a two-sport athlete at the college level, because like you said, I mean, two-sport athletes at the college level, they don't just come every day.
First off, I like to, just thank my coaches personally, Coach Jewett and Coach Beck, both of the head coaches of both sports. They actually take the time out to find a perfect schedule to fit each player. And, me as a dual sport, they basically just invest the time into find out what works best for me. And like you said, it worked out well. I'm three-time All-American in track and field, All-American football player. So I could say my experiences here have been wonderful, and I just commend our program for what they do in developing athletes.
Now, I believe track season goes on in the spring. Is that right?
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be participating in the sport this year, or are you going to kind of be focusing solely on your football career?
Right now, I'm 100% all in into football, so
okay.
I'm going to be focusing on football.
Sounds good. Again, I found it really cool that you were a standout and had a great deal of success in both football and track. Anyways, Marquise, I know that you recently participated in the National Bowl down in Miami, Florida. Can you tell us about that experience and what it was like to go up and play with and against some of the top small school talent in the country?
It was a great experience. I got to represent my school well, represent my family, represent my hometown, Kansas City area. So as far as in going out there, I feel like I prepared well and did a great workout for them. And it was a great atmosphere at FIU Stadium. It was beautiful in Miami, even though it rained a few days. But as far as me as a player, I feel like I brought what they see kind of on film and on the field and in person, so it's a different visual for them. So I feel like I got good reviews on going down to the National Bowl.
And I know that there was about 13 NFL teams represented at the National Bowl. The CFL and AFL were also in attendance. By any chance, were you able to meet with any teams or any scouts? And if not, maybe you got the impression that a team was interested in you?
Most definitely. Like I said, I prepared well just to treat it as a workout in front of those guys, and definitely I felt eyes my way, and I feel like I'm a great player, and that's how it should be.
Hey, sounds great. Once again, he is the wide receiver and really just an outstanding athlete out of Pittsburgh State. Marquise Cushon joining me here on the CS podcast presented by the NUC NFL Draft Bible as he gets set for the 2016 NFL Draft. And Marquise, just a few more questions for you, and then I'll let you go. Really do appreciate your time. And switching gears here for a moment, I mean, what do you plan on doing from here on out until the NFL Draft comes around?
First, I like to just try to spend time with the family, of course, train, kind of just going through this process of interviewing agents, hopefully get another invite to another bowl against different competition, and also just prepare myself for the next opportunity.
And you know what? You mentioned train. Do you have any idea where you're going to be training at? Do you have any facilities in mind, or are you going to be going back to Pitt State to train? Any idea?
I've currently been working out with Zoe Montana. He's a great guy that I've been referred to in the metro area, and what he's done with me so far has been great. So I like training with him, and as long as I just continue working on my craft, that's all I can be happy about.
And I got to ask you, man, I mean, obviously being a track star, I got to ask you, what goal do you have for that 40 time?
Well, first, of course, I want to put on some weight and also run a low 4.3.
Wow. All right. And do you think that's achievable?
I'll be prepared, and I know I'll prepare myself well. So I'm just excited for this process.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what, man. As you know, obviously, seeing one of your teammates and John Brown go through this experience, I mean, the pro day could certainly be huge. Pro day, regional combines, anything like that could certainly be huge for a small school guy like yourself, a small school playmaker like yourself. Now, I do see that the Pittsburgh State Athletics website, they have you listed at 5'10", 162 pounds. Is that accurate?
I'm 5'9", roughly around that same weight.
Okay, yeah, I just wanted to make sure because I know sometimes the school website, I mean, sometimes they have trouble updating that information for some reason. But anyways, final question for you, and again, I really do appreciate your time. If an NFL general manager was listening to this very interview, why should they want the wide receiver Marquise Cushon out of Division II's Pittsburgh State a part of his team?
What they're going to get is 100% me. I'm going to be all in for the organization as a player and as a member of the community. I compete at a high level, and I have a will to win. And if I get on the NFL team, I'm ready to play. So.
And you know what? It's just that simple. Marquise, I really do appreciate your time. It was really a pleasure speaking with you, and congratulations on, finishing a very successful collegiate football and track career, and I'm wishing you all the best as you get set for the 2016 NFL Draft.
Thank you, Chris, for having me. This is truly an honor to be on this show, and I appreciate it.